This is the professor with WealthCampus.com, and this is your daily and weekly chart analysis for WD. This is a daily view on WD, Walker and Dunlop, and they are in the financial and mortgage institution sector. And what you're looking at is on this day here, there was a huge bull stampede on earnings, and the stock gapped and hit a high of 53.43 on tremendous volume. Now, rather than chase, what we like to do is time our entries, and so I alerted members to an entry right in this area right here, and so we entered into the flag build, into the flag pullback. And so what we want to see from this point is we want to see the gap hold. We want to see this gap hold. We call that a power gap. And we'd like to see the stock begin to move back towards its previous high. This is a weekly chart on WD. Every single candle represents 1 week of trading. And I have mentioned in previous videos how, a lot of textbooks will tell you that when an RSI gets over 70, that's an overbought condition, and you want to look to sell. And that's absolutely not true. That is an old school, incorrect way of looking at momentum. You want the RSI to move over 70 and actually stay over 70. And so to illustrate that, I want to annotate this weekly chart for you. And I'm just going to move this here. Now, this was what happened when the price of the stock on a weekly chart went over 70. So if you were somebody, for example, who even bought like the top of this candle and got and received like a bad entry at 37.50, had you worked full time and stayed in this stock while the RSI stayed over 70, so we're looking at 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. So you've been in this stock 3 months. You would have seen the price appreciate from 37.50 to 53, almost a 17 point move there, merely for just sitting on your hands. It's hard to sit tight and be right. And you'll find that at WealthCampus.com, I teach a lot of my members who do work full time. I put them into quality stocks that are fundamentally leading the market and making big moves. And we capture these large moves like this. Well, in my opinion, WD is ready to continue this trend and capture another large move. So look at this volume bar right here. So this volume bar, remember now, every candle represents a week. So last week, and this is a 2-year view. This is a weekly chart with a 2-year view. So last week there was more volume in the stock, more buying volume in the stock last week than in any other week over the last 2 years. And you have a stock that has or had a high RSI in the daily, a high RSI in the weekly, and you had a big breakout. And this happens quite often after pocket pivots or big weekly moves. A lot of times you do get a doji here. You get indecision. You don't really, sellers. What happened here is you have this long wick, so sellers stepped in and drove it back down, but now you've got buyers stepping in here, and you've got a little bit of a battle going on right here. So I wanted to illustrate the power of a high RSI and the fact that this thing looks poised to continue. And if you look at a monthly view on WD, now remember, this is a monthly view. We're looking at different time frames. So now each candle represents 1 month of trading. This stock has absolutely been on fire. It has a high RSI in the monthly. So here's a stock that has a high RSI in the daily. It has a high RSI in the weekly. And it has a high RSI in the monthly. So it has momentum in all 3 time frames, depending on what your flavor ice cream is. And so when a stock is like that, we say that stock has a big engine. It is a big engine stock. These are the kinds of quality plays that I put my members into. You can see if we look at the scooter ranking now, a lot of people with when Investors Business Daily was hot, and you have a lot of Ken Slim folks. A lot of them were begging stock charts. Hey, can you can you insert the formula, the relative strength formula, the proprietary formula that that Investors Business Daily uses? And Stock Chart's response was, well, no, it's proprietary. We don't have permission to do that. There was such clamoring for it that what Investors Business Daily, what Stock Charts did was they created what's called their scooter, and this approximates or is very much like Investors Business Daily's RS, relative strength. So what the scooter is telling you is that this particular stock, WD, is stronger than most stocks that trade in the market, relative relative to themselves, comparing apples to apples. And so on a lot of different views, on different time frames, on the daily, weekly, and the monthly, and even using Stock Chart's proprietary scooter ranking, WD is very, very strong. So again, what we want to see it do is we want to see it maintain and hold this gap, and if it can do that and get its legs underneath it here, I see it testing 53.43, which from here at $49 represents almost a $4.50 move, which would be a hell of a move from here. This is the professor from WealthCampus.com. Please visit us. And this has been a chart analysis on WD. Have a great day.